establishment of the state of Israel. It's like, what about 14th century of Islamic history? What about the suffering of Christians since the inception of Islam? What about my ancestors who were forced to convert to Islam? No, nothing of that. They are feeding the Western audience all these lies. And this is the last sentence I'm going to say, and I'm done after that. I just want to say that my mission is this: to protect the West, the culture, the civilization that my current faith built from what my former faith, that is Islam, has done to my homeland. I don't want to see that damage happening again in the West, because the destruction, the chaos that we have suffered is coming to the West, is infiltrating the West, and it all has been reduced to one thing: Israel versus Islamic Jihad. If you want to protect the West, you have to side with Israel, you have to stand by Israel. This is not optional. This is not just a different country. No, Israel is fighting a war on behalf of the free world. Thank you so.
Thank you, Dan.
Dan, if I could just compliment you, your thread. I've been reading your threads recently, and some of your Substack articles, they're always giving it, but they've been really sharp and on point recently.
Well, his blood is boiling when he's got all this prompting and agitprop from Tucker and others who don't understand what's coming for them, and they're literally selling out the country, and they're pretending like they're patriots, and they're running, literally running it off on America. And you bring out, Miss Universe of the Year, the nun, and I read the story that she's a KGB, PLO, Arafat asset, and you bring her out of like the dungeons of I don't know,
The reason why we did that is because Keegan lies, used selective outrage, he likes to take advantage of people, play with people's emotions, and try to group everyone together to go against people he doesn't like. We weren't going to do that, especially because Keegan has said some really fucked up shit about us as well, and our children. So for us to fucking go out of our way to attack GB or Brad or Roger or anyone else for that matter, for him would be fucking asinine. So that's really why he's upset. He's upset because we didn't group with him and attack Brad and all these people for him. So that's why he said, oh, Jazzy died. That's why he did that.
how he did that.
He's trolling, that's what he does.
Overhair has over 50 yards.
You people love chaos. You all love it. Every one of you loves to stir the pot.
Alright, 50
Create
reasons
a
why
lot
John
of
Kitover
chaos.
can never become a congressman. Go. Type it in the chat. Say it out loud. 50 reasons why John Kitover should never become a congressman.
He makes fun of women.
That's a lie.
That's their weird boy.
That's a lie. You're gonna put 50 reasons to lie.
He's white. Okay.
That's a lie. I'm triracial. I'm triracial. I'm part Jewish. I'm part German. I'm part English. I'm part Russian. That's not true. I wore my underpants, and you got a picture of my underpants in your cell phone.
Get out.
Somebody has going to flow on into the rest of our countryside. But we're all dealing with the same potential problem in the future.
imperialist anti-colonialists over here. You've got it's being pushed by the Chinese, and the U.S. is in a cold war with the Chinese, not the Israelis at this point. So it is our responsibility to stop a Marxist, communist, anti-American movement, because that is what Palestinianism is. Okay, that is it's separate from what the Israelis are going through. It has to come out of the U.S. as a anti-American, pro-Marxist movement. It has to do with the ICE
racist, the Republicans are racist, you're all conspiracy theorists, Jew haters, and you're all just a bunch of racists. And Amo should be ashamed of himself for sharing the stage with a bunch of racists like you. You're all fucking racist. Bunch of racists. I've heard you in other rooms, you're nothing but a racist, rapper.
110 million people living in Egypt on the other side of the border, which the U.S. is funding their military and all these other things, but that can easily collapse, and then they can be turned by, let's say, Qatar, because they have trillions of dollars. They can start buying up people inside of the Egyptian military, and you can have a coup, a funded coup by the Qataris there, and nobody would ever know until it's too late. You can't do it. Those are trained U.S. pilots. Those are U.S. trained military. That's the reason why they won't do it. And I think we said,
Okay.
yeah.
The thing is, we have to have a solution, and so
We
where I
need to have a
was,
solution. Netanyahu and Donald Trump will have a solution, and we can be patient. That's it. And whatever they're planning, and it's going to be changing daily. So there's not even any point where we don't need a solution. They need to come up with it, something that's agreed by America. In the same way he brought all these world leaders and sat there and they had to take notes like they're little children about Ukraine and Russia and NATO, is the same way he's going to have to bring them along, which I know he will, regarding what the plan is with this Gaza situation. Because as long as Netanyahu lives, and and as long as Donald Trump lives, they're not going to they can't let a foreign body inside of Gaza, like a Gulf country, that could then turn around and do something very bad to Israel. The land over there essentially needs to stay empty forever.
well, I thought that's what I was saying,
Right,
because
yeah.
I'm trying to say that there cannot be any Palestinian or any other people living in Gaza anymore. That has
Yeah,
to change.
but the West Bank is filled with them, and so is Israel proper, right? So that's a consideration. A lot of them have family members in those other regions, right? So that's another issue that you're gonna have to deal with.
They cannot speak the Israeli authority in Gaza people is deeply
I can't hear what you're saying, Erdena. What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were quiet before. What did you say?
I'm just saying it's not really true.
It's not true.
Stop.
Israel is taking control of Gaza and Gaza people feeling is no they doing to Israel territory option. That's it.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
It's like that. No,
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
there's one thing. I understand the emotion, but there's one
No, it's not emotion. I'm telling you, it's never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
there. We live here. I live here.
I'm telling you, I know more than you on this subject, and it's never going to happen. Ever gonna happen. You're not gonna have a full Israeli military on the ground in Gaza and have that population there while we need to rebuild the whole area. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna get your vote. You're gonna have a new person come in. You're gonna have elections. You're gonna have elections in Israel that won't be Bibi Netanyahu, and then you're gonna end up in the same situation you guys were before. It's not gonna happen.
Bye, baby. Bye, baby.
I'm here. I'm here in Israel.
It doesn't matter you're on the ground. These decisions are being made inside of the White House. They're not being made on the ground. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure Bibi's voted on by the people of Israel, not by your opinion.
So you basically said you basically tell me the White House Prime Minister of Israel.
The Prime Minister is making joint decisions with the United States President because there's many countries that are involved. It's not the point of the conversation.
Trump has told Bibi to do what he needs to do to keep Israel safe and secure. Trump told him, do what you gotta do.
Oversight. The U.S. has major oversight on what they need to do. It's being discussed daily. Everything is oversight. So again, the problem is many. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah. The problem is many Israelis do not come to my spaces so that they can actually learn what's going on. You had like thousands of people on the street in Tel Aviv doing the exact same thing they've done forever, which is putting the hostage things up front so that Hamas gets more leverage to use against.
But it was not happening. That's what I'm trying to.
Okay, so 80,000 people are on the ground, right?
Here?
Okay, when 80,000 people go on the ground in Israel, when 80,000 people, let me explain to you. When 80,000 people go on the ground in Israel for the hostage thing and what's going on, you give Hamas such a heavy control over everything that's going on, and that's the problem here, Dada. And the fact that that's still being done in Israel shows me that there's plenty of money left from the NGOs that are funded from Europe, from Norway, from the Middle East, and from the USAID money, controlling the ground game in Israel. If people understood that if you go out and talk about the hostages, it literally gives Hamas leverage, then we would be in a different place. That's how I know that there's a lack of education by the Israelis on this particular subject. Because by doing that and creating this international push, it goes back to creating a two-state solution, it goes back to not getting the hostages back, releasing more terrorists, and that's not happening. Directly in contrast to what the Prime Minister of Israel needs or the United States President. It actually stops their efforts. What they still haven't learned since we found out that the Qataris were funding the hostage coordinators from the U.S. on the ground, and all of what that message is with the Biden administration saying, don't release the hostages. So again, all I see when I see 80,000 persons on the ground are useful idiots for Qatar, for Muslim Brotherhood, for the Samantha Power people, and for the NGOs funded by individuals that just want to get rid of Netanyahu and don't even care about the hostages when they're doing this stuff. Because you're dealing with psychological warfare. So they gave more media, Mila, if you want to talk about Israel going on the offensive, the least they could fucking do is shut the fuck up about the hostages so that it doesn't seem like it's such a big deal to the terrorists so they can get the hostages out. And they're not doing that. So if anybody actually learned it for the last 2 years that I've been in spaces, this is what I've been talking about. With any hostage negotiation, you never make a big deal from the street level, but it shows like you're going to cause a division in a country, because that's literally what the color revolution was done for against Israel, like they're doing now in Poland, like they're doing now, and this is still all the money left from USAID, Samantha Powers, all these left-wing NGOs, the EU, from the Qataris, from the Turkish money, it's laundered through different organizations, and it's still running, and in 4 years, or even midterms, we're going to have the left coming up here, Israel's going to have elections in 2026, and you're going to have a different prime minister, or if something happens with Bibi, he's not able to serve, you're going to have, everybody's going to think they have a prime minister that can do it better than Bibi, and we're going to be in the same fucking shit, because you're going to have a new president in the U.S. 2 years after that, that's going to be most likely a fucking lefty, because everybody's running around like a moron in this country right now, rather than focusing on taking out Gavin Newsom so he can't run in 2028, and focusing on the Jews. When everybody should be ignoring Israel completely, so that Israel can do what they need to do. Instead, every single right-wing influencer and left-wing influencer, all they talk about is this shit. Not Ukraine, Russia, not all the open graves that we just found from ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and from
Hilarious. Which one specifically? Because I just trolled my
Jazzy and Shy. I spit out my water. I was laughing so hard.
Has Jazzy been in anger management? Because she's a lot calmer than she used to be.
You just gotta catch her at the wrong time. I've heard it gets so explosive. It can come at any moment. So to suggest that she's been through some type of therapy or education would be ludicrous. It's just a question of, is the environment right? And did she feel she get attacked or disrespected? Because that's when she comes in, with her heat.
I don't know, like she stopped fucking with me about a year ago when I'm in a room laugh at her. I was like, this bitch is so mad. She's just thrown her own wig at the floor.
She's a waste of time. Oh, speaking of another waste of time, look who it is, Dr. Adams, the femboy who goes around reporting rooms and trumping for Darren LaHood because he's going to fix the hood. Well, the campaign is still going, Dr. Adams. I know you and Matt Cool said it was going to end 2 days ago, so here we are. Are men messier than women? Are you messier than a woman sometimes, Dr. Adams?
What's up, lady balls?
How are you doing? What's up, Tuna, how you doing? How's the scene?
The sea. The sea is good, about 4 or 5 hours to recollection. It's been over a decade since I've been to Fiji. But in terms of progress, about 120 years.
No, I've always wanted to go diving there because I heard like diving's really good, but for me to get there, it's 4 hours to LAX. LAX there, I think it's like 6.5 or 7 hours.
See, if you're going to do that bounce from LAX, I'd say go Western Samoa. In fact, go to Western Samoa for diving, man. Like, you can go and see New Zealand's second most expensive warship, which the woke captain left it in autopilot and crashed it into the very reef that they were there to survey, and then it sank. Spewed diesel out before it set on fire, then it sank, then it spilled diesel all over the reef that it was supposed to be inspecting. Yeah, job done.
So now, hey, what's going on, Alan? First, women are messier than men. Absolutely.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry, but it's true. They pretend to be cleaner, but in secret, they are very messy. That's, I will not be contradicted on that point. What do you think, John? It depends on the personality. I've known some women who are extremely neat, and then other women who are absolute slobs. Unfortunately, the women in my life have all been on the slobby end of the spectrum. So there you go. Alan, what do you think about women leadership in companies versus male leadership? I don't think females are good leaders. I think males any day.
Hey,
I am in complete agreement.
hey, might I insert something, please?
I'm not a woman, so no.
Was that a yes or no? It's unclear.
I said I'm not a woman, so no, but you can speak. No, let me speak.
Of course you can.
That is making it.
What's involved?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think leader and woman, I think that's an oxymoronic statement. I think those two words don't go together in the same sentence.
So, Dylan, I've seen it too, like, the Congressman there's 3 issues. Women are emotional, women get jealous, and women, they're insecure. And that's why they don't want, some of many reasons why they don't make good leadership.
Well, it's not in their nature to lead. What does it mean to lead? To lead means to go first. To lead means to go first. Going first takes courage. Going first is testosteronic. It takes balls. Let me ask you something. Who approaches who? Does the sperm approach the egg, or does the egg approach the sperm?
Fast.
Thank you.
So you're telling me that if I go to the bar on a Friday night, if I don't approach an egg, there's never going to be any whoopee?
I think if you're going out on a Friday night and you want to meet women and you're not approaching them, you're a pussy.
So you're saying that I become a pussy and I'm not looking for pussy?
Remember this, John. I want you to write this down. Women don't want a pussy because they already have one.
So what are they looking for exactly?
A man. A
And
man.
what is a man?
Man, you don't know what a fucking man is. That's not your job.
Before you get to the definition of a man, this women's studies group or women's studies like majors, whatever. They were having a bake sale, and a cupcake, it was $1 for a male and 67 cents for a female, right? Because they wanted to show for every dollar a male makes, a female makes 67 cents. So I told this girl, she was kind of my friend in the class, and I'm like, let's go mess with them. And I gave her $1, and they saw me give her $1, and she bought a cupcake and then gave it to me. And they're like, oh my God, you're setting us back 30 years, 50 years. She's like, I love it when a man tells me what to do. They're like, we don't want your money. We don't want your dirty money. I'm like, the cupcake tastes so good. These feminists got so pissed at my classmate or friend. But they went around like trying to prove this. And it doesn't prove anything because let's say women, like what's the statistic? Women make 21% more or less. Why don't companies fire all males and only hire females? Then they save 21% on labor costs. I was actually faced reverse discrimination. One summer I was looking for a job and I applied to an electronics factory. I would have been working on the line assembling, circuit boards. And the woman told me outright, she said, no, you can't do it. You're a man. Your fingers will be your hands will be too big. Don't even bother coming in. So that's it. And the emotional wounds that I suffered because of that, and the hit it took to my psyche, to this day, it's still a bitter, bitter memory, being rejected like that for employment. It pains me. I think I've felt that long enough. So I worked at a company. They wouldn't give you your bonus until you went through diversity, equity, inclusion, and cultural bias training, and gender differences in communication. So they made you do this fucking training, and you're right before bonus payout, and HR like sent out an email saying you have to do this training, and people would blow it off, and they said in big capital letters, your bonus will not be paid out unless you do this training. I mean, it was so fucking stupid. And do you feel more sensitive now, Nick? No. I will tell you the only good thing about it. Not a completely female company, but one at about 80%, is that as long as that there are men there to keep the women in check, they all try to dress each other. And I mean, I am talking, I had a temp job, it was one day, and it was
30 years on the hook with the bank.
The scariest words your mom can say to you, Alan, what are they? Wait until your father gets home.
That's true.
That's funny.
No, that was the scariest thing to say in a single mother household is wait until your next father gets here.
Yeah, this is never going to happen.
First, your mom would beat your ass. Then when your dad got home, you got your ass beaten again.
I would tell you that my father only whooped my ass one time in my life. Once. I was 5 years old. Didn't get out of bed to go to school. Told me something, time to get up. And when he laid off into my ass, I'm kindergarten. I said, hell no, I never want that smoke again.
Like, that's the thing, you learn your lesson. Are you even allowed to hit kids now or no?
You have to do it in a certain way, or CPS is going to be up your ass like a fucking sock puppet.
You know, it's funny. My pediatrician didn't say it outright, but when we asked her, she said, whatever you do, it has to be memorable. And I think that was her code of saying, yeah. And she's from the South too. She had a, I would say, like heavy draw, but she had it draw for sure. So I knew what she was saying.
Whoop that ass. See, now that both my parents are from the South. So when they laid off into you, you got laid off into. When they would say, go get a switch. What the fuck? God damn it.
Maybe you could get away with that in the 50s and 60s. My dad used to tell me, my dad grew up in Germany, but like, in Germany, like, he said no kid had ADHD, no kid had ADD, no kid had Asperger's. Nobody had any of this shit. He's like, if the kid didn't pay attention, they slapped him, and then all of a sudden they paid attention. Like, I don't know, do you think we need to bring corporal punishment back somewhat? Because these kids are too soft.
In my opinion, yes.
Well, then my dad told me if you got into a fight in school, obviously teachers would break it up, but they would beat both your asses with a paddle,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd get sent home for the day, and then you got your ass beat at home. But you learned your lesson.
And if you did something wrong in school, when I was growing up, because the elementary school was like right down the street, you did something disrespectful in school, your teacher whooped your ass. Then you had to go to the principal office, get your ass paddled. Then Miss Martha would hear about it, she whooped your ass. Then the next door neighbor heard about it, she whooped your ass. Then you get to the house, you got your ass whooped. You learn your lesson. Don't ever do this stupid shit again.
Then Grandma found out about it. Don't forget Grandma.
See, my grandparents from down south, I'm up here. It's like shit.
Oh, okay.
But, like, say you did something really, really bad, your uncles will be over here and whoop your ass. So now you have a whole line of men checking you. So that's why I never had, like, any kind of trouble. I was so damn scared to get my ass whooped like that.
Correct. I mean,
in math. So it's, parent teacher conference and your first semester or first quarter, whatever, you have your parent teacher conference. And my mother, because my dad was at work, couldn't make it. My mother walked into school. We just going through like, okay, English A, okay, you got a B plus, okay, math C. What are you doing with a C? She looked at the teacher. The teacher called my mother by her first name. She looked at him and said, call him by his first name. And the only thing I could say was, oh fuck, I'm fucked. Got my ass whooped right there on the spot. Because I was fucking up and had a seat. Because they came from the South together.
I don't understand the significance of the teacher called your mother by her first name. Should she have called her by her, Mrs. KT?
No, because they grew up in the same neighborhood. Down south.
So you understood that your mother and this teacher were friends. So,
Way back in the 60s, 40s, and 50s. They grew up in the same neighborhood in the South.
So it's like, I got your back on this one, and you got no refuge, kid.
None. And guess what? The next quarter, straight A. I'm like, oh shit.
I remember, like, what I used to do is I would only show my parents, like, the good grades, and then the bad ones I wouldn't show them. And so we went to, like, a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher was showing my exam, B, B, and she's like, D, A, whatever. And I was like, wait, D? I didn't know about that. I thought you were doing better. You only showed me these good test scores. I'm like, yeah, I didn't show you all of them.
I don't think anybody utilizes it, but it's still very important law on books that if your child misbehaves at school, and we sign off on a thing every year that we understand this law, and that if our kid misbehaves, that they have every opportunity to spank our children. I've never heard of a case where they've done it, but
But I mean, look at the stores what some of these kids do. If you ever go to like a grocery store, you see these kids how they misbehave. I'm like, if I did that, I don't want to know what would have happened when I got home.
And next, you want to know something else? The same math teacher. I was 19. I went over to Windsor. Go to the casino, right? Don Cherries and all of that shit over there partying. I ran across it. When I got back to the dormitory the next morning, my mom and dad called. Where were you at last night? I've been here. I've been in school. You trying to lie? No, the fuck you not. Because I got caught. Got caught in Canada by the same teacher. Went straight to the house and said, hey, I saw your boy over here. He over here gambling. God damn it. Funny as shit. You can't make this shit up.
And the thing is, we all hate
Correct.
I mean, it's, jeez. I'm, because I got a seat. Imagine if I do something worse.
Hey, I just want to say, I just want to give a real quick shout out real quick. I'm sorry. Sandra, good friend. Give her a follow. She's new to the app, don't know anything about this. Very, very good friend.
Hey, Sandra, welcome. If you're new to the app,
She probably can't find the mute button.
run away. Run away now. Don't look back. Run.
Hey.
Now, he said, run. Get the hell out of here.
Are you married or single?
I'm not married.
Do not use this app for dating.
Right.
Hell no.
Please go out, go places with people in real life.
This is worse than waste management. Shit. This app is trash. Don't do it.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I would say if you're going to be around, you're going to have 50 million guys just trash, or 50 million ladies trash. Gonna be trying to holler at you, trash. Don't use this app for dating. We all tried it one time in life. Nope.
Yeah, use it to run for Congress and defeat the rhinoceroses running our government, plunging us into eternal and forever debt.
Hello, Kate.
John, you're killing your damn campaign, man.
How am I killing it? I'm killing it because I'm getting petition signatures and I'm raising hundreds of dollars like clown house.
Hold on a second. Who's speaking?
It's Ray. Kate, just wanted to apologize. I know last time I said
Corey.
Father Elijah.
Okay, that's me talking, sir. You think I care about what you said last time?
Not really. I just wanted to break the ice, just in case there is.
Nah, man, I don't care. Yesterday is yesterday. I don't care about that shit.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, Kate, you did kind of.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I let shit go, man. I don't live day to day and keep everything together. No. If something happened yesterday, brother, or even an hour ago, it's gone.
Yeah, you can't call them fast. Like I heard a quote that says, "There's a reason why your windshield is a lot bigger than your rearview mirror, because it's the road that
Correct.
lies ahead of you that's more important than what's behind you."
Right. That's
You
fair.
would never,
That's a
you
very.
would never ever hear me have something to keep going. I don't do that. That's some straight up faggot shit.
Right. That's fair.
That's a feminine trait. Never gonna happen.
Right. I respect that, Kate. Can I kindly ask what's the title about so I can partake?
It's open.
What's
It's
the
open.
what's the title mean? I can't understand it.
Are men more messier than women?
Ah, okay.
And we just kind of free floated through all kind
I
of titles.
think though, in general, KP, it's kind of
What's up,
like
Shane?
we're not. Because like we'll fight and then we'll just be like, okay, we'll move on. For women, oh, it's crazy, man. They live for the drama and the bullshit.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 with it.
I feel like, because here's the thing with social media, man. Pre-social media, I would say it's the women who are more fagger, but women just got more enhanced with the kindness in the gossip and shit because of social media. But I will say I'm gonna add more points to the men because, these dudes, I'm telling you, man, I don't know. The YNs, man. Yeah, maybe he ain't like the women do. So going back and forth with the ladies also, I'll just be like, yo, what is going on with the fellas? And they be over here pillow talking and all types of shit. So
I won't disparage because of my affiliation, but MG, please tell them this is not a healthy person to be affiliated with. He does not have the interests of American Jews at heart. Even if he stands for Israel. It's not worth it.
Thank you, Jay. Let me, and I'm not going off I'm not trying to deflect off what you said, but I have to say something. He said so much shit. He regurgitated shit from season 2, basically. But, John, I'm telling you now, if you act like an asshole, I'm banned from the house. So let me just say this. How did I get in a position of power in healthy debates? I'm going to tell you, first off, it's none of your fucking business. Second off, people stepped aside because they had real lives to take care of things, and I picked up the mantle. There was no power play. This asshole's like, hey, you didn't want Roger to be an admin. This is Roger's house, you fucking moron. Roger could kick me out tomorrow if he wanted to. What are you talking about? Kelly has real life stuff that she's addressing. It's so fucking stupid that the narratives you people believe. Why am I in charge of healthy debates? Well, Rohan's an admin also, but Rohan lives in Australia, which is 16 hours ahead. He runs rooms at different times. Here's the thing. For you people that hate me, and I tell you all the time, the hate is the one that stokes the engine. But if you haters, if you really hate me that much, take 2 steps to the left and get off my dick.
Like Charles, he's complaining in the chat. He should go, Jeff.
Hold on. But here's the thing. I'm not in control of healthy debates. We're still a team. And what caused what happened in healthy debates is none of your fucking business, you idiots. Who cares? We should get back to the conversation and how we cultivate the conversation in here. What the fuck do you care? It's so stupid. Dr. Mitch, you wanted to jump in? Dr. Mitch?
Hi, Jay. No, I'm just here to support. We're all trying to make we're not all trying to make the world a better place, but I think that's the dream, right? Is that we're here to communicate with people all over the world to help make the world a better place. We've got enough crap going on in the world hurting us. We don't need to do it to each other.
Yeah, hold on. To that point, when I was in his room tonight, and he started telling his version of what happened to the creators of this club, and he's blaming you for for getting them like unmodded or removed from the house. I'm sitting in the audience thinking, where's he getting this from? Right? I won't name
his imagination.
Right? I mean, even one of the former leaders of this house has recently told me on the back end what happened to why certain people are no longer fully participating, right? And even you have told me this. So when I heard Pepe's narrative, I'm like, wow, this guy is really, I don't know where he's getting this information from, but it's wild. So if anybody was in that room and heard Pepe tell the story about JB being the reason that Kelly's gone from Healthy Debates and Roger's gone and Bryn and Rohan, his version of the story is not true. If you want to know the truth, go to the former OGs and ask them if they'll tell you. But that narrative he was spinning, 100% lies.
You know what's crazy
from the story.
You know what's crazy about that whole story? He was in this space one time, and he asked